Hey Bumblebees, King Bee, Doobie Stew here and ready to ruin your life forever. I'm just kidding. How could I ever do that to all of you? I honestly, I couldn't. I just couldn't. But that being said, I have quite the interesting list today that just might make you question everything you have ever known. It's okay. It's okay. Let's just get through this together, okay? Today we look at the top 10 everyday things that prove your life is a lie. So take a seat and get ready to have your mind blown. Starting us off at number 10, did you know that gold medals aren't actually gold? Yeah, that's a true fact. The last true gold medal was awarded back in 1912. Since then, they just haven't been the same. The International Olympic Committee actually only requires each gold medal to contain 6 grams of gold, the rest being made up of silver. In 2018, the gold medal was actually 99% silver with only 6 grams of gold and 580 grams of silver, making the total weight of the medal 586 grams. Some of you might be saying, oh well, come on, that's not that big of a deal. I mean, those medals are still priceless and probably still wickedly expensive. Not really. Back in 2018, gold traded for about $43 per gram, and silver only traded for about 60 cents per gram. That makes the 2018 Pyeongchang gold medals worth only $606 at the time, and 2016 Rio gold medals worth $532. Olympians spend thousands and thousands of dollars chasing their dreams to one day reach that podium and just to be given the title of the best, only to receive a piece of jewelry with just a minuscule amount of gold. That being said, I'm still sure that the real prize is the experience. At number 9, we have another fact that may be hard to believe, but mice don't like cheese. Well, okay, maybe except mice in Italy and France because those guys have it made, but man, I really want cheese now. Back on track. Based on studies completed by researchers at Manchester Metropolitan University, mice don't actually like cheese. Mice throughout their evolution and time in the wild have always fed on grains and fruit. You know, foods that have higher sugar content. I mean, that makes sense. Cheese is a human creation and mice would not have found cheese in the wild. So what would they go for? Foods that are packed with natural sugars to keep their energy and the fat stores going until they could find their next meal. All of that being said, I hear peanut butter is a really good substitute for cheese if you're looking to catch some of those pesky rodents. That makes sense to me. I'm guessing mice also didn't have access to peanut butter over the years, but at least that's closer to the sugary meal they've grown to love and feed on. It should also be mentioned that these are mice from the wild, not mice from New York or Toronto, where those things will literally eat anything, and I mean anything. So maybe stock up on that fruit next time you're looking to catch a few pests and save the cheese for yourself. At number 8, we have baby carrots, or should I just say, normal carrots. How many of us grew up with parents who tried to put some healthy, fun snacks on our lunch? I know my mom pushed for a lot more vegetables, and one of the only veggies I would eat is baby carrots and dip. They were so compact and cool and always made me feel like Bugs Bunny, you know? They also tasted great, but of course anything drenched in ranch tastes great to a 10-year-old boy. Anyway, back in 1986, a California farmer tried to solve the problem of slight rotting or imperfections on his carrots. So, he decided to cut them into smaller carrots, thus creating the baby carrot. After that, the baby carrots became a North American sensation, and the rest was history. So, I hate to burst your bubble, but there's no such thing as baby carrots. Just normal carrots made into smaller carrots. I wonder how rich that farmer is now. Imagine waking up one day and deciding just to cut carrots differently, and the next thing you know, you've created a new way of eating carrots until the end of time. Good work, Doc. At our number 7 spot, we are traveling to go see some pyramids. Oh, Dewey, how exciting. Does that mean we're gonna go travel all the way to Egypt? No. For one, I can't afford to take you all to Egypt, and 2, because the most pyramids in the world are actually located in the country of Sudan. Egypt's southern neighbor Sudan has anywhere from 200 to 255 known pyramids, where Egypt only has 138. Maybe some of you are thinking that ancient Egyptians probably just wandered a little bit south and decided to build some more pyramids there, but that's also not true. These pyramids in Sudan were actually built by members of the Kingdom of Kush, an ancient civilization that ruled the areas along the Nile River from 1070 BC to 350 AD. Both countries and cultures use these great pyramids to entomb their dead, but one thing Egypt does not have over Sudan is that their pyramids are much larger. The average Kushite pyramid is 6 to 30 meters tall, and the average Egyptian pyramid stands 138 meters tall. The Kushites also started building their pyramids 500 years after the Egyptians. So maybe they were just jealous and had to beat Egypt's numbers, and in order to do that, they had to make a bunch of smaller ones. Huh. Competition always does get the best of us, doesn't it? Even in ancient times. So, sorry Egypt, you may have the larger pyramids, but you don't have the most. As of right now. At our number 6 spot, we have the infamous Sir Isaac Newton and his apple. Remember learning in school that Newton first discovered gravity by an apple falling on his head? Well, guess what? It's lies! Lies, I tell you! The Royal Society in London recently revealed the original manuscript where Newton explains his discovery of gravity. But nowhere in the original manuscript from 1666 does it mention that he was hit on the head by a falling apple. In fact, apples aren't even one of the main focuses of the manuscript. There's just a short note explaining that he watched apples fall from a tree. Most of the manuscript he goes into his obsession of explaining the orbit of the moon around the earth and that the influence of gravity must extend over vast distances. So he still is the OG gravity guy, but that tale about the apples? Lies. Coming in at our halfway point is one that surprised me. Chameleons don't actually change their colors based on their surroundings, but actually change color based on their mood. They're basically walking, talking, breathing mood rings. Okay, chameleons don't talk, that we know of. I don't think they're actually mood rings because I don't think you could put a chameleon on you and have it change color to let others know how you're feeling. Or maybe you could. Either way, they actually change the color based on mood, temperature, and other factors unrelated to their surroundings. So maybe it's more like when they feel sick and don't want any other chameleon friends to bug them, they just start to turn green and then just walk on over to a leaf to blend in so they know that no one will see them. I wonder if they actually turn beet red when they get mad, or blue when they get really sad. I might need to buy a pet chameleon. I might need to get some of these answers for myself. At our number 4 spot, we have frozen zombie lobsters. You heard me right. Zombie lobsters! Okay, they're not actually zombie lobsters, but not so long ago, a Connecticut-based company called True Fresh discovered that after freezing lobsters in a minus 40-degree chemical, they would then let the lobster thaw out once it was time to prepare the meal, and found out that these lobsters, well, they came back to life. Imagine leaving dinner out on the counter for an afternoon or even overnight, only to discover it gone the next morning. You check the news and there's a crazed lobster on the loose looking for revenge on anyone who ever tried to cook him and his friends, and it's all because of you. It's mayhem! Honestly, it's still worth it. There's nothing I love more than lobster or any kind of seafood. If it swims, I will eat it. So, crazed zombie lobster, come at me. Starting us off in our top 3 is one that I wish I never learned about. Cockroaches can live days without their heads. Excuse me while I just go throw up and trap myself in a nuclear bunker where no living thing can ever find me, okay? Bumblebee fans, one fun fact about Dewey Stewart is that his biggest fear is cockroaches. And I have unfortunately worked and even for a short time lived in a place with cockroaches, and I have never been the same. Growing up in a farm town where these things didn't exist and I would only see them on TV shows made me just think they were like some mythical creature. But sure enough, they are very real, and they are very gross, and they are very, very, very indestructible. So please, don't mind me, I'm just gonna go cry in the corner. On to much less scary facts, and facts that are much more wicked cool. Humans have a sixth sense. We all know the obvious ones: taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing, but we actually have a few others. Neuroscientists have actually identified up to 33 human senses, but 2 of the most common ones after the original 5 are chronoception, the sense that time is passing, and thermoception, the sense of a space's temperature. They're not as wicked cool as telepathy or anything like that, but who knows what humans will evolve to over the next few years. Maybe we will all one day become superheroes with all of our 33 senses. Most likely we're probably just going to become more like cyborgs, but hey, Earth scientists, let's maybe try out the superpower thing before we become half computers. Is that cool? Thanks. Finally, coming in at our number 1 spot and one of my most favorite shower thoughts ever, which still to this day blows my mind: the brain is the only organ that named itself. Whoa, I mean obviously because no other organ operates like the brain, but think about it. Whoever decided to call the brain was talking to his own brain, and that brain decided to give a name to the thing, aka the brain that was inside that person's head. Okay, well, Dewey still cannot handle that. Excuse me while my head just explodes. There you have it. That was our top 10 everyday things that prove your life is a lie. How can we go about trusting anyone or anything anymore? Lobsters rising from the grave? If I ever become an Olympian and win gold, it's not actually gold? And cockroaches will forever haunt me until the day I die? My life has been turned upside down today, and I need to go chillax. But don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and please tell me which one of these facts blew you away the most. I've been your host, Dewey Stewart. If you want, go give me a follow at DeweyStew on Instagram, and Rachel and I will see you all back here very, very soon. Until next time, buzz off.